Hi, I'm Shea.
And I'm Bree.
Yes, as you know, this is my sister Bree, and she'll be joining us again today as we do Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And this is like a cult classic from, I don't even know, when was this? When was this?
80, oh my gosh, 88. Okay.
It is a great B movie.
Mhm.
I think it's super fun and campy and stupid. It's great. I love this movie. Josh hated it. He'd never seen it before. So
What?
I was like, why don't you watch Killer Clowns with me? And he goes, how bad is it? Oh, it's pretty bad. It is pretty bad. But come watch it. It's super bad. That is how I explained this one to him. Was it's really bad. Come watch it. Be good.
That's so funny. Yeah, I had to watch it in two parts because I watched it. I started Thursday night, and I got halfway through, and I was just like, I don't remember this movie being so terrible. Like I
Oh, it's so
remember,
bad.
I loved this movie so much. It terrified me. It thrilled me. It made me laugh. I had everything going on. And as an adult, I'm watching this like, what is this hot garbage? And so I had to stop. And then I was like, I'll pick it up tomorrow.
Yeah, no. I always laugh when it's like you have these ideas in your head. You're like, that was such a great movie from when I was a kid, and you rewatch it and going,
Like
I was on crack as a child. I don't
and
know.
they had a bunch of scenes wrong.
What? You had a bunch of scenes wrong?
Yeah, because I was talking to Alfredo about it, and he was mentioning that scene where they're at the bus stop, and that clown uses the shadow
Yeah.
to like eat all the people.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I don't remember that, but I do remember the scene that terrified me when the little kid is at the restaurant
Oh,
and
mm-hmm.
clown that's outside. So for some reason, I had remembered it as a child that the kid is outside and the clown like is about to smash him with like a funny hammer,
Mm-hmm.
and that happened at all.
It
I was
was
watching it
close.
thinking,
I
like,
think maybe in your head you jumped to that conclusion that that's what was
yeah,
going to happen because he's holding
that's,
the
mhm,
hammer behind him and he's going to smash the little girl.
yeah.
And I think that because your mind was like, oh my God, that's what's going to happen, you kind of just remembered it that way.
Yeah, that was definitely implied. So my child mind probably just like
Yes.
the puzzle pieces. And that's
But yeah, I
why
put that together and you're like, that's what was going to happen. So that's how I remember it. Oh my gosh, this was so bad. I started looking up the actors and I'm like, where do I know this person from? Like a couple of them, I'm like, you were so familiar. And
uh-huh.
yet I've not actually seen anything they've ever been in. So,
Alfredo pointed out one
hmm.
cop, Dave.
Dave,
He was
yes,
he was in Baywatch and he played a
he
blind guy.
he was in like 12 episodes of Baywatch during the 500 years of Baywatch. I'm not sure how Alfredo remembers that, but I had to look it up. So what the Mike, his name
Uh-huh.
was Mike Tobacco. If you did
Tobacco?
not pay attention to the last name,
Oh, I paid attention. And we kept making jokes like, Mike Tobacco, you're about to get smoked.
they're at this makeout point, which they call on top of the world.
Oh, I didn't even
Where
catch
was
that.
it supposed to be? Just some small town?
It is. It's Crescent Cove. So why do they have a mountaintop? It's a fucking cove.
It's probably a hill. Like really, it's like a hill, and then they call it on top of the world. So the guy who plays
Mhm.
Mike Tobacco was also in a really bad movie called New Year's Evil that Shaylin and I did last year for New Year's Eve. It's also a really bad movie. And then the woman, her name is Suzanne Snyder, who played Deb.
Mhm.
She was in like a couple of movies as well, like Weird Science, Return of the Living Dead,
Oh. Oh my
Fool's Crush
God.
In.
Yes. Now I know where I know her from. I was thinking she looked so familiar, and it's Return of the Living Dead. That's
Yeah,
so
so she's in some good ones. But Curtis Mooney, who's played by John Verne, he is in just all kinds of ridiculous B horror films. And I'm like, I know this guy's face. Like he plays a jerk in everything he is.
Mhm.
And I couldn't find anything else I would have known him in. So I'm like, this must be like the only movie I would have recognized. Okay. Christopher Titus. Who was he in this movie?
Oh, he's the guy with the red glasses in the very beginning where he walks in front of the cop's car, and then the cop's like, "What a punk,"
What
you
was
know?
the point of that? I love the generic beer cans though. Those were great. And I thought to myself immediately was, did nobody want to sponsor this movie?
I don't think so. I don't think it would
No,
have, you know.
nobody wanted to put their brand in this movie, so it's all beer.
Beer.
And then
It
what
could have.
was the point of that dude? Just to be like, I'm a punk? Okay, so then
He wasn't even punk. He was like super nerdy.
so the premise of the story is these killer clowns come down from outer space, as the entire title gives it away. This is it's not a secret. Killer clowns from outer space. And their ship is a
Big top.
circus tent.
Yep. The circus big top.
It's a literal top when it starts coming out. And so it comes down and crashes, and these two people, Mike Tobacco and Debbie Stone, go check it out because they were making out in a inflatable raft in his truck or something, which I kind of thought was that's pretty genius, actually. Like, it's, it's like an air mattress type thing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's somewhere to your head. You're not getting comfortable. That's kind of cool.
I would think twice about some rando guy who has a raft in his tiny car. No?
It's like a little SUV. Yeah, a little raft in there. Clearly, that's what they do. But she was obviously stepping down in the dating world because of her ex-boyfriend is the cop, who's like super good looking.
Yeah, he's okay. He's got a little he looks like the bad guy from Karate Kid.
But in comparison to Mike Tobacco,
blue eyes,
he's the best looking dude in the movie.
I don't know, but potato.
So they find this big top, and she's like, we got to go tell my friend. I have a friend at the police station who's going to believe us. And it turns out to her ex-boyfriend, who he's like trying to like manhandle like the whole movie. I'm like, dude, that's her new boyfriend, right? Like, you're totally creeper. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's very bizarre. I kept calling her Little Debbie. I was like, I don't know. The purr factor is high on this one. It's okay, Little Debbie. I'm going to take you home. Like that,
I know. Maybe that's why she broke up with him, because he treats her like she's a child.
Mm-hmm.
So she dates then a man-child who's best friends with two dudes who own who rented a ice cream truck so they can meet girls.
So creepy. And they did meet girls. They met a few girls.
They did. They met a couple girls, and they were like, they got them with the ice cream, and then the girls didn't want to have anything to do with them. They just wanted the ice cream. And so they're like, well, what about the other girls? Because they eat too much. Let's go.
Bad for business, right?
They're bad for business. It's like, well, that's what you used to lure them. What did you expect?
Creepy. It's so bizarre that they would lure.
While we're trying to figure out what the big top is, Debbie and Mike Tobacco go into the tent and find out that this is not a real circus. So they come across this room where it's all got these candy cane cocoon shaped things.
Cotton candy.
Yes. Is that what I said? What did I say?
Candy canes.
Oh.
Okay.
Candy. Cocoons.
It's okay.
Which is what they use to kill people.
Call them what they are. They're testicles.
Elongated.
Yes. Hanging all over the place.
Yes. And so they have all of these up, and they're actual people that they cocooned with their cotton candy guns or whatever. This is what confuses me. Okay, so then they have popcorn that they shoot at people, which turn into little monsters or whatever. Okay, so you're collecting humans, to eat on the journey. You're okay? Get some snacks on the way, which I respect. Okay, I respect this. Going to a new planet to grab some snacks. Mike Tobacco and Debbie find this. They go tell Dave, and Dave is on the case. Thinks they're crazy. Go home, take a nap. You're probably drunk or high. So then the circus freaks, the clowns are set loose onto the town. We run across them with interesting people. Apparently, in this small town, there is a biker gang.
Yeah,
who are super tough.
That was funny. That was so funny. I'm sorry. I think that's a memorable part of like my childhood. And it was like Rock'em Sock'em Boppers, Am I thinking of the right toy?
Yeah.
You're gonna not it's gonna knock your block off, dude. And then kapow, there it goes. And then everybody's like, ah.
I love that whenever there's a bully scene, they have the worst lines.
Oh yes, they have
You're
to.
gonna knock my block off. Who in actuality ever said that?
I don't
Ever.
know.
No one said that.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna knock your block off. And so they don't actually talk. They
Adorable.
just make weird sounds through the entire movie. The clowns. There's no talking. They're just.
I was looking at one of the clowns. I think it's the clown that you see in the police station.
Okay, the big one.
Yeah, you see all of them and all their bodies, but you know, so much of the shots are, you know, geared towards the face because that's where the production, the makeup was, you know.
Right.
But you look at this giant clown, and I feel it could have been a little scarier because they worked so much on the mask or the makeup. That the body, it's just like the costume is hanging off of them. And wouldn't it have been more terrifying if that clown had like been yoked or something? Like
right, but I think in the 80s, you think of clowns, you think of big baggy costumes, you think big shoes. That's why they didn't move very fast, because they were running around big shoes, and they tried to play everything with comedic effect, like when they were in the pharmacy.
Yeah.
And they're spraying each other by accident, checking stuff out, throwing powder everywhere. And then the weird, like old, obviously senile pharmacist, we need to move him on. He needs to retire as well, because he was just like,
he's so scared. Ah.
The whole time. And I'm like, what part of this doesn't go, I should probably call the police? Like, it's like an hour into the movie when we get a phone call to the police station about these two clowns terrorizing his pharmacy.
And then even then, it's like, how do you respond to that?
They're like, okay, we're on it. We're checking out all these things. And then, you know, the weird lines that foreshadow everything, like when Mooney says, "You're not going to make a puppet out of me." And they make a puppet out of him. I'm like,
my
who wrote
favorite.
this? This is the worst writing ever. But it's so, I did actually, as an adult, I did actually start laughing during some of the kill scenes. I thought they were hilarious. And I felt really weird. I'm like, well, this is new. I don't normally laugh at kill scenes, but this is really funny.
It was funny. I think it was cool how they tied in some of the classic clown humor into the kill. Like it's the smallest details, you know, like he has his hand up him and he's, you know, he is the puppeteer. But when he pulls it out and he goes, and you just hear blood like hit the floor. I thought that was so cool. What was your favorite kill?
I think the one that sticks in my head, and it's the one that I remember mostly from a child, is not just the Rock'em Sock'em Bop It's one, but is the security guard at the amusement park when they throw the pies on him.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And the pies like disintegrate his body.
Oh, it's
and
so
he
good.
melts. And then the two idiots with the ice cream truck come back and they're like, "Oh, it looks like a pile of melted. Why are you touching it? Why are you just..."
Oh, it's so
I've never seen a pile of ice cream on the floor and was like, "Ooh, that looks delicious." And then the little clown puts a cherry on top, you know.
Yeah, he was the cute one.
He was. So we bring our ice cream guys, and we have our cop and Mike Tobacco and Debbie. And well, Debbie's already been kidnapped. This is the part that I thought was interesting. So these clowns are going door to door collecting, you know, cotton candy people.
Yep.
They just shoot them in their cotton candy and they take them.
Yep.
There's no struggle. There's no arguing. But Debbie, they put her in a balloon and then they leave.
Yeah.
I was going to kill her right away. What were we going to do with her later?
So we have a theory. I was thinking to make more clowns, but then, you know, like all of those villainous creatures, they need like a mommy or they need like a lady to reproduce with. But then I started thinking maybe no, because later in the movie you see female clowns.
Who apparently when they get excited, their boobs like triple in size.
And they go like this. They were all over the place. And then Guys,
I
we're so
was like, whoa, wait.
I
Yeah.
forgot all about that scene. Do we know clowns?
Okay, the big dude was a
The
woman.
mega clown? Or who?
The one who takes the straw and puts it in the cotton candy and drinks
That
it.
was the lady?
It's her name is Jeannie Houdini.
Oh.
Jeannie Houdini.
Well, this is the perfect role for her.
But so yeah, this movie is a hoot and a half. And the ending is just as ridiculous. So they go back into the big top. I'm like, they obviously had only one set. I love the scene when they're talking and they get in there, and it's all dark and it's black and it's nothing except weird like statues of like dragons and like dinosaurs. I'm like, what's this have to do with anything? And they're not even like walking through it. They're like zigzagging for no reason. No, it's an open space, but you're gonna zigzag in the space for no reason. Like, just I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are we zigzagging from that corner there to here? Just like not even like a straight shot, but just we're gonna zigzag. Take up some time for some dialogue.
Some dialogue. That's exactly
Walk around a sculpture, maybe come around. Just
Mhm.
zigzag it through like it's a bank line. Just no reason at all. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. How long does it take to get to the colorful part of the
It seems to take a little bit. And I love how then, Mike is like, I know where we are now. And I'm like,
do you?
really? Do you though? But do you? Because it looks familiar because you were all goofy. And the way you kill the killer clowns is you break their nose. You pop their
little boop.
Their nose. Apparently. You pop it with a needle or you shoot it with a gun.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I love it. That's definitely a nod to zombie movies.
Where you cut off their heads and they're supposed to die.
Yeah, shoot it in the head, but a clown.
Yeah, you have to. That's pretty precise too. You're like, you gotta get their red nose.
Yeah, because all villains have an Achilles heel, so
right.
That's like the perfect one for a clown.
Right. So at the very end, what are they called? The Trezzini brothers. So the Trezzini brothers, the ice cream guys.
Yeah.
Who've been obsessed with arguing about ice cream and girls like the entire movie, even the clown girls.
Oh yeah.
Who didn't eat them. They just, made out with them because they have big lips all over their faces now. Lipstick marks. So they show up at the end when Mike and Deb and Dave are on top of this like structure trying to keep the clowns away from them, and it's like, oh no. And then the ice cream guys come in and they're talking because obviously their ice cream truck has a big clown head on it.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So, and I love it that he's like talking through the speaker. These clowns you don't know if they speak English, but he's like, oh, I'm Jojo the clown. Leave them alone.
Right. And then they're like, all, and I'm like, they clearly understood English, which is weird. Like when the biker bully is, talking to him, can I honk the horn? And he's like, yeah, go ahead. Yeah. And they clearly understood English. They just
think they want the clowns to talk because like maybe like as a nod to like mimes, or do you think that it would have made it too weird if is it scarier that the clowns don't talk?
I think it's scarier the clowns don't talk.
Yeah,
mimes are pretty freaky on their own. So then, when the guys come in, everybody runs down to the ice cream truck, and all of a sudden they can't get the truck to work. Of course not, right? And then the boss clown comes down, and it's like the size of King Kong. And it comes down. And it's the size of King Kong because everybody's able to escape, kind of like it beats up the truck, throws it, it explodes for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh no, the Trezzini. Everyone needs to live at the end except for everyone that died throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like all of our good guys at the end have to live. I don't understand what kind of recipe this is.
Yeah.
That all the good guys at the end have to live and they have to laugh. Like the ending, there has to be something funny. Like, like it. Oh my God.
I forgot the ending. And so as I was watching it, I felt like I was watching it for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And so when Mike and Debbie, they escape and, Dave is like, I'll sacrifice myself. I'm going to take on this clown. And the clown's like, yeah, King Kong style, picking him
King
up.
Kong style with the hand. Let me see if I can do it. Let me see.
He's just like, what are you trying to grab?
An invisible person, obviously.
Oh, invisible person.
She comes in like all big hands, because that's what you saw. You saw like just the scene of the big hand with the 3 fingers.
Yeah.
Dave King Kong style, and then Dave takes his pin, pops his nose, and then which triggers a whole nother event of the entire ship blowing up.
Yes. So I have questions.
No, you don't say.
I made it the whole movie, like at the end, I have questions here. So, okay, so he boops the thing and it bursts and all the glitter. So I was saying how ridiculous it is that everybody becomes extremely fast all of a sudden. He boops the nose, he jumps out of the way, and then you see the big top. It
explode into fireworks.
And you're thinking it's like everything's happening in that second.
And
you're just like, oh no, poor Dave. Like that sucks. I was genuinely like, he was a cool guy. That's too bad. And what comes crashing down out of the sky?
Little
clown car. Who's in it? Dave.
And the Trezini brothers.
The Trezini brothers. And that's why I was like, wait a second. Because when they got tossed in their truck, they said, how'd you make it? It's like, we're in the freezer. All of a sudden they're like the Mario brothers. And it's like you had time to get into the freezer before the damn thing caught fire. And then this guy over here was like, I got into this clown car and I'm safe. Okay. Like it's just like,
no, I love that it within this time period. So the Trezini brothers jumped in the freezer.
Yeah.
They blew up, but they were safe because the freezer is indestructible. Then somehow in the time that Dave boops the clown, the boss clown, he explodes. He runs down, finds the Trezini brothers. They find the clown car because, by the way, that's nowhere in sight. Okay, because it was originally outside of the whole thing before they went up in the big top, and then it comes down, crashes, and then they run over. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if you noticed this. It bothered me, like, because I'm an adult. It bothered me a great deal. So it comes crashing down and it opens up and it's Dave. And he comes out and he's like half like open shirt and he's all like he was in a brawl or something and they've just ripped open his shirt. And I'm just like, why is your shirt unbuttoned? I don't understand this part. Like you were totally tucked in and everything when you were fighting the boss. And now because it's big, oh my God, it's craziness. And all this escaping thing, you had to pop open your shirt, but you're not even revealing anything but an undershirt, but whatever, it's like sexy or something. I don't know. So he gets out and Debbie is like, Dave, and runs over and gives him a hug. And Mike hugs them too. And Mike turns around like he's like a sidekick now. And Dave is like kissing Debbie's head.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Dave, you're the ex-boyfriend. What are you doing? Did you think that this is going to bring you closer together? As I don't understand.
I think so, because when they really talk about this in the future, who saved the world? Dave.
Dave saves the world.
I still have a major question about.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Plot hole. I mean, there's a few, I'm sure, but this one got me.
Okay.
At the end, they're all standing together and hugging and it's joyous and we're all saved. And then they get hit with pies. How are they not? Why aren't they melting?
Dude, right. But it was funny. This is funny.
I know it was funny, but like you imply that these pies were acidic.
I know that they melt people, and yet.
Fun fact.
Oh,
are you ready?
I'm ready.
Fact? the people who designed the look of the clown
Mm-hmm.
also had a big part in Pee-wee's is it Pee-wee's Big Adventure with Large Marge?
Large Marge. It did seem very Large Marges.
Yes, that
It
whole
did. It gave me the same vibe.
during the scene where I guess it's the lady dressed as
Oh.
the big clown who goes in to drink from the cocoon.
Oh, yes, yes.
So that's like the longest slurp in the world. And like, how much of that straw did we really need to see?
We needed to see it go all the way
And it was
the
like, oh my
crazy
gosh,
straw.
talk about it. That's a crazy straw. And then the look on her. Well, I don't know.
Its face.
I don't want to assume gender here, but the look on his face, it's like all like, ugh.
I know, like it's drunk. I'm like, what? And I'm sitting there going, because this is how my brain works. Because I'm ridiculous. Is I'm like, was it okay for everyone just to wander in here and just drink from the cocoons? Or are you like, I'm doing what I want to do because I do that? Or is this like okay amongst your people?
Mm-hmm. You came to get snacks. How do you know when you're running low if you're just sneaking?
Right. I'm like, is this why you guys had to make a pit stop at Earth? Because you were just drinking everybody up? Like, I don't understand. So, how do you want to rate it? Do you want to rate it by cotton candies? Candy testicles?
Yeah, cotton candy, testicle sex.
Okay. How many cotton candy testicle sex would you give it?
I would give it, I don't know. It's so fun, but it's so bad. I would do like 3.5.
Yes, I would give it 3. 3 cotton candy testicles sacks.
Yeah.
Because it is so bad. Like it's so bad, but it's so fun. I would recommend this to anyone just to be that annoying person who recommends horrible movies. I love it. So I guess so follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, like, subscribe, share. Yeah, go watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space because it's a horrible movie and you'll love it. It's great. Until next time, bye.
Bye.
I don't know what happened. I can't hear you. Hold on.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
My phone got too hot and it shut down on me.
Well, you were getting really intense there, so
really
that's what happened. You were super into it.
I don't even know where I left off.
You had questions about the ending.
Oh my God, that's like way far back. I just kept talking.